Finally, bro. You know, man, to catching up on the track and field, I gotta check out my man, to the one in production.
I remember after the 2021 track and field season, Elaine Thompson from Jamaica was looking completely unbeatable, and after breaking Florence Griffith Joyner's Olympic record in the 100 and then running a wind legal time of 10.54, she was looking completely invincible. This sequence of events was just crazy, and it left her in a very rare position to not only walk away from the season with the Laureus World Sportsman of the Year award, but it placed her amongst some of the greatest athletes to ever compete, and it left her pretty much untouchable over any sprinting event. However, for the very next season, injury would play a significant role, and against all odds, her very own teammate Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce from Jamaica would prove to be almost unstoppable, running under 10.7 7 separate times, which was a single-season record. And even though track athletes rarely achieve such a prestigious title, she also earned the Laureus World Sportsman of the Year award.
Oh, word? That award, they only give it to one athlete in the entire world every year
for her sprinting endeavors. For 2 consecutive seasons, 2 dominant athletes from the small island of Jamaica walked away with one of the most difficult titles to earn in all of competitive endeavors. And even though these 2 completely owned the women's sprints up to this point, their status in 2023 has been much more uncertain. Leading into this year's sprinting season, both athletes had pretty big goals to defend their recent titles. But once again, injury has played a big role in their developments, and racing has been much more complicated than in years past.
Injuries, man.
So far for 2023, Thompson has only raced a total of 5 times, and as you can see from these performances, they are nowhere near her previous year's clockings. Now, for Thompson, her injuries have affected her 2023 season, but compared to Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce, she has been much more active, because so far, Fraser-Pryce hasn't raced once this year, leaving many people around the world wondering exactly what is going on. Now, heading into this year's outdoor season, Fraser-Pryce was scheduled to compete in this year's Kipkeino Classic in Nairobi, Kenya. And even though she ran her season opener last year in this exact same venue in 10.67 seconds, pretty much the exact opposite happened this year, because in her pre-meet preparations, Pryce sadly suffered a pretty severe knee injury that officially took her off this year's starting line. And since this moment, now almost 2 months ago, Pryce hasn't been able to compete in a single race so far.
That's sad, because she was getting faster too. With age, she was getting faster, bro.
Now, after such a dominant and historic 2022, Pryce's absence in the track and field world this season has been a big deviation from the typical racing season that we're accustomed to. However, after months and months of waiting, we finally have these 2 athletes healthy and ready to race, and it's going down in this year's Jamaican National Championships. Now, even though Pryce is the defending world champion over the 100-meter distance, she's actually not running in this event, as she'll be competing in the 200-meter dash in this year's Jamaican Nationals. Now, one of the big reasons why she's doing this is because as the defending world champion, she has a bye into this year's World Championships, meaning that she doesn't have to qualify from her national championships to make it to Worlds.
Oh, word? That's the perks they give you as a champion. I can dig it.
However, seeing her compete in the 200 meters will be very exciting, because in this event, both Elaine Thompson and Shericka Jackson are also slated to compete, meaning that this Jamaican trio, who took gold, silver, and bronze in the 100-meter dash in both the 2021 Olympics and the 2022 World Championships, will all be running together in the same event. And despite not running at all so far this season, Pryce is coming into this event with a pretty big amount of confidence, as she stated that her training has been going great so far, and that she believes that she is in a much better place. She also stated that she's been able to tweak some things and really revisit areas that needed work, and if these improvements have actually gone down, Pryce is going to be extremely dangerous in this year's national championships.
Healthy, yeah.
Now, in a further development, she also stated that this will likely be her last world championships, as the 2024 Paris Olympics will likely be her last running season. So with history beckoning once again for the pocket rocket herself, it really only makes sense to expect a quick performance. Now, out of these 3, Shericka Jackson simply has to be considered the favorite. In last year's World Finals, she ran the 2nd fastest clocking in history at 21.45.
Oh, damn,
and so far this season, she's one of the very few athletes to run under 22, as she has a season's best of 21.98. However, Pryce also ran very well in last year's World Championship.
The thing with track and field, you can't have an off day, bro. It's not like basketball, you have an off night now.
Running 2 consecutive Masters World Records in a row, hitting times of 21.82 and 21.81 seconds. Now again, Elaine Thompson-Herah is also slated to run, but she's also quite the uncertainty, as her season's best in this event is currently only 23.23 seconds. However, she also stands as the 3rd fastest runner in the history of this event, with a PR of 21.53. This clash of Jamaican greats is going to be extremely impressive, and I certainly expect this to be one of the highlights, building up to this year's World Championships. However, only adding to the excitement of Fraser-Pryce returning to the track is what she told the Olympic Channel in a recent interview as well. When asked about her future plans in the 100 and the 200 meters, Pryce stated, "I want to run 10.5 or 10.4.
That's
I'm currently working towards this, but I also don't want it to be an end-all be-all. If it doesn't happen, I'll be satisfied knowing that I gave 100% effort towards this goal. I don't want to limit myself. I want to think about potential and where I can go with that." Now, Pryce also stated that 2024 in Paris will most certainly be her final Olympics, and if she's able to make it once again,
they definitely can't hire a cameraman for that angle.
Olympic qualification, which once again will reflect one of the most consistent sprinting careers of all time. Now, at the moment, Pryce's personal record in the 100 meters is 10.60 seconds, which lands her at number 3 all time. And even though she didn't outright say it specifically, saying that she wanted to run at 10.4 is basically saying that she wants to break the world record before she retires. Now, as many of you already know, the world record stands at 10.49, set by Florence Griffith Joyner back in 1988. And despite the massive controversy surrounding this one performance, this has stood as the world record for more than 30 years. However, many people still see Fraser-Pryce as the single athlete to potentially break this mark. However, given her incredibly long career and her inevitable slowdown as she does go up in age, this will be a very, very difficult task, and despite her amazing skills and her amazing career up to this point, I think this is going to be one of the more difficult challenges that she will face throughout her career. Now, I don't want to say outright that she won't run into 10.5s. However, running under 10.5 is really some next-level running. Despite her future goals,
she was on some
likely being
that
2024, day. Pryce returning to the track
she was
at this year's
Jamaican
National Championships is extremely exciting, and given the prospect of competing against Shericka Jackson and Elaine Thompson-Herah, I want to pass this final question off to all of you. Who do you think is going to win in this year's Jamaican Nationals in the 200 meters?
Pryce.
What do you think the winning time will be? Thanks for watching, everyone, and as always, until next time.
Yeah, I like Pryce. I want to see her race this year. She haven't raced one time at all, so it's kind of exciting. So when is this though?